We could all tell that Doctor Who was a bit different. Now we know he wasn't one of us. Sylvester McCoy, who played the Doctor in the 80s, has claimed that he and others linked to the show set out to satirise the then Conservative government. He said, "Our feeling was that Margaret Thatcher was far more terrifying than any monster the Doctor had encountered."
It's the sort of evening that makes you feel happy to be alive. I said, it's the sort of evening that makes you feel happy to be alive.
Oh, yes, dear.
Does Sheila Hancock's character Helen A remind you of anyone? But one old hand from Gallifrey cautions that the Doctor and politics don't mix.
If you're concentrating on putting over a political message rather than on doing a really good show, I think there is a danger. You know, maybe you can do both, but it would be hellish difficult. And I think there's maybe a danger that the show wouldn't be as good as it could or should be, because you're not looking at the right aims.
Nobody's perfect, Professor.
Including Fifi.
The Doctor may be immune to Newtonian laws of time and space, but BBC impartiality guidelines applied to him in the 80s as now, says the corporation. The top dogs of the Beeb back then said they had no inkling of what the Doctor was up to. They were already getting it in the neck from Tory ministers as it was, they said.
Norman Tebbie came to dinner one night on the 6th floor of the BBC, and we were all summoned, the heads of department. And he sort of shot us throughout dinner, saying, "So, what was the last right-wing programme you made?" And, of course, nobody had an answer at all. My best chance was a programme called Howard's Way, which I tried to persuade him was a pro-Thatcherite drama, and I didn't get very far, really.
There's a great tradition of science fiction as political allegory. Current Oscar fancy Avatar has been seen as a critique of recent US foreign policy. And District 9 from South Africa, an exploration of apartheid.
I did not know they were doing this to you guys.
Or you could choose the government of the froglets. Are there any froglets there?
Even the high-minded clangers got dragged down to the level of politics. An episode called Vote for Froglet aired on election night 1974. One sci-fi author says the revelations about Doctor Who conform to a pattern.
I'd say that British science fiction has had a more liberal, left-wing tradition than, say, American science fiction. For instance, American science fiction has had a much more militaristic feel to it in its written form, but also in its cinematic form and its televisual form. You think of Star Wars or Battlestar Galactica, or Star Trek, of course, is the military roaming around the galaxy.
Look at them, Fifi. Dreary, closed.
Mrs. T's admirers may be appalled that she was sent up on Doctor Who, but they have the satisfaction of knowing she made BBC executives of the day hide behind the sofa.